On the power and control wheel, another tactic is minimizing, denying, and blaming. And this particular tactic is one which, like intimidation, happens very often. Anytime something doesn't go the way he believes it should go, he finds a way to either shift the blame from himself to her or blame whatever it is that happened on her. So it could be something like the kids were misbehaving at Grandpa and Grandma's. It's because she doesn't know how to parent. It's because she doesn't know how to manage her children. She doesn't listen to him, therefore she's defective, and therefore it's her fault. It could be something like he went out drinking, he didn't call, he comes home late, and she says, "Where were you? You didn't call." Well, I didn't call because I know I'm going to get the same thing from you every time I do. You're the reason I don't call. You're the reason I don't come home, right? So everything that happens that's a problem in the house gets shifted to her. Now, how this works, how this functions, is that when he's developed a power relationship over her, she doesn't have a way to confront it. So when he blames her, if she attempts to blame him back, then he'll up the ante. And as guys have said, if she wants to yell, I can yell louder. She wants to push, I can push harder. She wants to hit, I can hit harder, right? So he's going to use as much force as it takes her to submit to what he wants. Now, this tactic of blaming is one of those real crazy-making kinds of behaviors where the woman and the kids will know what really did happen, but when you live with a man who is violent and you're afraid and he's battering you, the best way to navigate and to stay safe is to know more about him than he knows about himself. To do that, you have to take on a lot of his thinking. So the longer you spend with a man like this, the more that you start adopting the way he thinks. Initially as a strategy to navigate safely around him, but eventually what happens is you can tend to lose yourself because now you've adopted his thinking rather than your own. And so when he starts blaming you or minimizing what he's done, even if it's beating you into submission, it's your fault. I had a guy tell me that his partner went out to the bar with some friends, and she came home, and he grabbed her by the hair, drug her around the apartment, and as he's explaining this to me, he says, "You know, I wanted her to know, it's not me that's doing this to you. You did this to you. You went out with your friends to a bar when you're in a relationship with me, and you don't get to do that. So I wouldn't be dragging you around the apartment by your hair if you would have done what I told you to do," right? So the violence and the hurt and the pain is even put on her. That's her fault. So after a while, like I said, you start taking on that thinking that he has, and you begin to blame yourself, even sometimes before he does. If I would have just made dinner differently, if I would have just, mowed the lawn and got the lines just right the way he wants them, then he wouldn't have come home and screamed and yelled and broke things or hit me or slapped me, right? And when in reality, it has nothing to do with the lawn or the dinner. It's really his desire and his way of dominating you and getting you to submit to what he wants you to do.